Hi guys, it's Sophie, and in today's video I'm going to give you 5 tips that will help you study online effectively. So my first tip is to get yourself ready for the day. I know that it's very tempting to sit in your pyjamas and do all your work in bed, but getting up and getting ready really helps to put your brain in the right mindset. So my second tip is to make yourself a schedule. This is dependent on your type of course. If you're going to have live classes, then obviously they're kind of scheduled for you. However, if they're just going to be uploaded recordings, it's up to you when you do them, and I find the best way is to make a schedule, so you do the same class at exactly the same time every week. So I also like to put in when I'm going to do any prep work, when I'm going to do any readings into my schedule. It's just personal preference, you guys can just put your classes, but I find that having everything in a schedule just makes sure that I've done everything that I need to do for that class to make sure that I'm going prepared. I think it's also really important to give yourself a time frame for you to do your work in. So I like to study from 9 till 3, and that's when I try and get all my work done. Obviously some days it's less, some days it's more, but I find that if I just give myself the whole day, I'll put it off and put it off and put it off until it's the evening and then I haven't done anything. As well as a schedule, make sure you write down any important dates, any assignments that are due, anything like that. I think when you're studying online, it's very easy to kind of fall out of the idea of school because you're in the comfort of your own space and you're doing whatever, but make sure that you have a list and you keep going back to it. So my third tip is to make sure that you have a designated study space, whether this be a desk or a dining room table. Just finding a space that you go to and you study, and that's what you do there. Along with that, make sure that you have everything you need on your workspace. So make sure you've got pens, paper, pencils, water, a calculator, anything that you could possibly need, chargers, so that you avoid getting up. The more you get up, the more unfocused you become. And actually, if you just have everything where you need to, you can do like 2 hours of solid work or whatever, and you're able to kind of get that done without having to get up every 5 minutes to get something. And lastly, on the study space is keep it tidy. There is nothing better than getting up in the morning and having like a clean space to work at. And although after studying all day, you're probably like, oh, I don't want to do this. But if you just like put all your pens in a pot, close and save all your files, make sure you've got a clean desktop if you're using a computer, or put your books away into a drawer, it just makes it packs everything up so you're done. And also in the morning when you go to a clean desk, you're like, okay, yeah, I'm ready for the day, I'm ready to start. You don't have to sit there filing through everything and trying to find what you need for that day. So my fourth tip is to minimize distractions. Now, this sounds like an obvious one, but definitely working from home, there is a lot of things that you can get distracted by. Firstly, I would say put any electronics that you don't need away outside of the room in a drawer or something, so you don't get distracted by them. And if you are using a laptop or whatever, put your computer on do not disturb, so you don't get notifications through and emails and stuff that you just think, oh, I'll just check this, and then it's been half an hour and you haven't done any other work. I also like to use apps that help me concentrate. I use Focus, which uses the Pomodoro technique, which is 25 minutes of studying and then a 5-minute break, and you repeat this 4 times, and then the 4th break is a 20-minute break. And the other app I like to use is Flora. It's a little bit like Forest, if you've heard of that, but basically it's a way to stop you checking your file. You plant a tree, and you can set a time limit. So there's like 25, 50, and then more. I can't say I've ever done more than 50 minutes. But you pick a time and you plant your tree, and that's how long it takes your tree to grow. And if you click off the app or go on your phone, the tree dies and you've then killed that tree. I definitely think it's a really handy app to have if you are someone who really struggles with, picking up your phone aimlessly. And my last tip is to make sure that you actively participate in your classes. I think being online, it's very easy to just listen to the lectures and let other people speak and kind of just be a passive participant. But it is so important that you actively engage. You'll only get like a fraction of learning by just sitting back and listening or watching. you gain so much understanding of the course materials by getting involved in, asking questions, answering questions, joining discussions. It's such an important part of the course, and although it's online, I think you really need to try to get in. Something that really helps with this is to do the readings and any preparation that is needed to be done, because then you are able to engage with the material, you know what you're talking about, or you might have points to bring up, which definitely helps with engaging. But yeah, just try your very, very best to kind of get involved at least once a session. Another way to engage in your class is to make sure you keep up with the discussions boards, ask any questions, even create group chats with other members of your class. They are a really good way to, just clarify anything that you don't feel like you need to ask the professor, but you just want a little bit of clarification on, or, extend your understanding. You could even do like Zoom chats with them just to discuss any material before you go into the seminar or discussion, and that way you will feel more confident about bringing up points and arguing them. So I personally think that lectures are really hard to stay focused in, and I find the best thing to do is to listen to a section, then pause the lecture, and then write a brief note summary of what you've just heard, just to make sure that you've taken everything in and that you understand everything, and continue to do this until the end. It's just a way to make sure that you're really paying attention and taking everything in. It's really difficult. I know that I am the worst person to get distracted, but I just find that it's something that is really beneficial, and make sure that you understand every part of the lecture. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it and the tips were helpful. Leave me a comment down below on any tips you have, or let me know which your favourite tip was. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!